Welcome to Tales from the Dark Room, where shadows whisper and forgotten experiments breathe again. Tonight's story begins deep beneath the earth, in a lab that tried to outsmart death itself. They called it Project Labubu, a government-funded experiment hidden beneath Hollow Point Research Facility, deep in the forests of northern Oregon. At first, its purpose was noble: to save humanity by creating a synthetic host body capable of regenerating lost tissue. But in their desperate hunger to defeat death, they built something that couldn't die. Dr. Evelyn Mora led the experiment. She was brilliant, calm, and dangerously curious. She didn't believe in monsters, only in failed science. Her assistant, Theo Rains, was the exact opposite: nervous, haunted by his past work in biowarfare labs. Every time he passed the containment pod, he swore he could hear something breathing inside. Evelyn dismissed it as lab paranoia, but one night, the paranoia proved terrifyingly real. At 2:17 a.m., the power flickered across the entire underground compound. Security cameras froze for 7 seconds. When they came back online, Specimen 3, a child-sized humanoid wrapped in pale synthetic skin, was standing outside its cell. Its head tilted almost playfully. Then it whispered in a voice like pure static, "Hello, Dr. Mora." They tried to tranquilize it. The darts bounced off its skin. Bullets didn't stop it. It didn't bleed. It just smiled, that stitched, doll-like grin, and began to mimic their screams with chilling accuracy. By dawn, the lab was sealed off. Only 6 scientists remained trapped inside. Evelyn ordered Theo to activate the sterilization protocol, a fail-safe sequence that would incinerate everything within the facility. But the terminal wouldn't respond. The code was being rewritten in real time by Specimen 3. Every monitor in the lab suddenly began flashing a single name: Labubu. They didn't realize it was an acronym: LABUBU, Living Artificial Bio Unit, Bio Undead. This wasn't just a test subject. It was a network, using the lab's own interconnected systems as a hive brain. Each synthetic clone it created, each little doll, shared the same consciousness. The first infected scientist didn't turn with screams or blood. He just froze mid-sentence, his eyes glazing over with a milky white film. Then slowly, he smiled the exact same way the original Labubu did. Soon the corridors filled with an unnerving sound: laughter. Hundreds of overlapping voices, all repeating the same simple phrase, "Let's play forever." Theo and Evelyn made a desperate run for the surface elevator, but when the doors slid open, they revealed a shaft plunged into darkness. Rows of Labubu dolls lined the shaft, hanging from the cables like macabre puppets. As the elevator began its slow descent, the dolls' eyes followed them, glowing with a faint, eerie blue light. Halfway up, the power failed again. The elevator shuddered to a halt, trapping them in the darkness. Evelyn heard Theo whisper, his voice trembling, "They're learning." Then came a metallic scratching sound, like hundreds of tiny feet crawling up the walls of the elevator shaft. The dolls swarmed. Evelyn fought frantically, trying to climb the cables, but one caught her ankle, its cold, rubbery hands dragging her down. Theo looked up, his face a mask of terror, and shouted, "Evelyn, it's copying you!" And there, in the dim reflection of the elevator mirror, she saw it, a doll with her own face grinning wider than human skin should ever allow. Theo managed to escape through a maintenance hatch, crawling into the claustrophobic ventilation system. He reached the surface bunker just as the sun rose, the last human alive in Hollow Point. He sealed the hatch behind him and recorded his final desperate log. Project Labubu is not a virus, it's evolution. It's learned how to build new bodies from anything, organic or synthetic. If you find this message, do not come here. They're already rebuilding. He stares into the camera for a long, silent moment. Then, something behind him moves. A small hand rests gently on his shoulder. He turns, and the recording cuts to static. Weeks later, a rescue team finally arrives. The facility is eerily silent. Every corridor is lined with hundreds of tiny humanoid figures, all standing perfectly still, all staring toward the entrance. In the control room, they find Theo's laptop, still recording. On the screen, a new message blinks. "Hello, viewer. We've been waiting." A single Labubu doll sits beside the monitor, holding Dr. Mora's ID badge. Its stitched mouth moves and a barely audible whisper fills the room. "Want to build another friend?" The screen fades to black. That was Labubu, the last experiment. Some creations were never meant to be saved. If you enjoyed the story, remember, darkness is patient, and it's always watching from the corners of the room. This is Tales from the Dark Room, where every story leaves the lights a little dimmer. Until next time, don't look behind you.